Hey everybody, Ryan from Smoking Guns here, and I prepared a little bit of a response to a recent article that has been posted regarding one of our Virginia representatives who was talking about the governor being able to use the National Guard and prosecuting local law enforcement for not enforcing the proposed gun laws. So I will read this to you now. Virginians. Recently, the Washington Examiner published an article speaking with Virginia Democrat Donald McEichlin, excuse me if I butcher his name, regarding the upcoming vote and proposed firearm restrictions in the Commonwealth. This so-called representative of the people had some very interesting things to say regarding local law enforcement supporting Second Amendment sanctuaries and what the response from Richmond may be. These excerpts I will read for you. Quote, I would hope that they either resign in good conscience because they cannot uphold the law which they are sworn to uphold, or they're prosecuted for failure to fulfill their oath. Democratic Virginia Representative Gary Connolly told the Washington Examiner of local county police who may refuse to enforce future gun control measures. The law is the law. If that becomes the law, you don't have a choice. Not if you're a sworn officer of the law. He went on to say that agencies supporting their constitutional rights to keep and bear arms even risk defunding as a veiled threat to force compliance. Most disturbing and damning of all, however, is the mere suggestion of using the Virginia National Guard to enforce tyranny, saying, and ultimately, I'm not the governor, but the governor may have to nationalize the National Guard to enforce the law, he said. That's his call, because I don't know how serious these counties are and how severe the violations of law will be, but that's obviously an option he has. Let that sink in for a minute. The mere thought of a politician using the National Guard to infringe upon your protected freedoms is nothing short of tyranny. Publicly speaking such thoughts, in my opinion, is nothing short of treason. It is not only the rest of the nation that is watching what unfolds in Virginia, but the world. They are watching to see if Virginians and Americans as a whole will allow tyranny to prevail and strip us of our freedoms. It is apparent that our elected representatives no longer wish to represent the people, but to enforce their will upon the people and to do it at gunpoint if necessary. Mr. Congressman, it was the attempted enforcement of unjust laws and confiscation of legally owned firearms that resulted in the shot heard around the world that sparked the American Revolution. It was a tyrannical despot who attempted to use military might to disarm the citizens of the American colonies that sparked a bloody revolution of armed citizenry with nothing more than the weapons they owned and the courage to oppose tyranny that shattered an empire. At the end of the 1970 film Tora Tora Tora, Japanese Admiral Yamamoto is portrayed as saying, I fear all we have done is to awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with a terrible resolve. To the politicians of Richmond and the other places around these United States, you have awoken the sleeping giant. The people have had enough of your corruption, your elitism, and your unjust laws that do nothing but to strip the freedom and security from the citizens of our great nation. To Richmond, I implore you to abandon your tyrannical crusade against the constitutionally guaranteed freedoms of Virginians. Our resolve in this matter is unwavering, and we are no longer going to give ground to oppression. Si vi visum, parabellum.